Welcome back to the show. 3 schools at Akyem Adjobue in the Akyem district of the Eastern region will from today not be operational. This is because the Ghana Education Service has closed them down indefinitely. JoyNews is learning that the decision to close down the schools follows what school authorities describe as rampant defecation on the school premises by some unknown persons. The affected schools are Adjobue GCD, LA, Adjobue RC Primary and JHS, and Adjobue Presby Primary and JHS. Our correspondent Kofi Siao has been following up on this story. He joins me on the line with more. Hello, Kofi. Kofi, can you hear me? Kofi, if you can hear me, you have been to the area. What did you find? How bad would you describe the situation?
Well, this is something that has been going on for some time now. Just last year, the school authorities told us they had 2 cases of people defecating on their premises. And they've held several debates and also gone on sensitization programs to, educate the people in the community so that they put a halt to the way they are defecating on the school premises. But all that has not yielded any results. So they've decided now that they are not going to countenance that again. This year too, they've recorded about 2 cases of people defecating on their premises. So in order for them to express their displeasure, what the residents or the people around the community are doing on their premises, they decided that the 3 schools will be closed down so that they will know that we are very, very serious about their situation.
Kofi, how has the public or the people in the community and of course the students, the pupils in the school received this news? How are they reacting?
Well, the pupils and that of the parents received this news with a bit of discomfort. What they are saying is that the school is supposed, or the GES is supposed to provide security to ensure that people do not come there to defecate on their premises. So if now they are closing the school indefinitely, it's going to affect them. So they plead that the GES provide security, or even the PTA can come together so that they provide security for the school, so that people will go on their premises and defecate on their premises.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Kofi Siam, correspondent, bringing us up to speed. Well, we have on the telephone line our Public Relations Officer of the Akyem District Education Directorate, Asabia Otri. Hello, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we understand that the school has been closed down indefinitely. Obviously, this will affect education in the community.
It's true we have closed down 3 schools in the Adjobue community. That's Adjobue GCDLA, Adjobue RC, and Adjobue Presby. I will be grateful if I'm given time to give the chronological event that led the directorate take the final decision of closing down the school.
Our understanding is that people are defecating in the school. Is that correct? Is that an accurate description?
Yes, please.
So in that case, why doesn't the directorate then look at preventing people from defecating rather than close down the school, which will obviously affect learning?
That was why I asked if I'll be given some time to give you the chronological event that led the directorate to take that final decision.
We'll be much grateful if you give us a summary, ma'am.
Okay. This decision of closing down these schools has historical background. This is not the first time some of the community members have used the classrooms meant for teaching and learning as their toilet facility. In 2014, the directorate received a report from the teachers and head teachers of the various schools in the community, informing them of some community members using their classrooms as toilet facilities. This made the directorate take steps to verify the reported incident. The directorate then held a debate as your reporter said, with the community members to educate them on the importance of education and the need for them to put a stop to this distraction attitude. Again, in 2016, the Directorate received similar reports from the teachers and head teachers, informing them that the community members had still not changed since they were still using the classroom as a janitary. Just last week, the Directorate received letters from the teachers and head teachers asking for permission to close down the school on the grounds that some of the community members again were using the classroom as places of convenience. In the same letter, the teachers and head teachers requested for transfers from the school.
But what it means here, what I see from what you're saying, ma'am, is that the school has not had any security, because, I mean, one would have expected that what you would do about this situation will be to provide some kind of security to ensure that people are not defecating in the school, rather than allow it to escalate and then finally close down the school. Wouldn't you agree?
You know, from the information we gathered from the head teachers, they told us that within a term, they can change the school padlock like 2 times. They buy new padlocks. Some of the community members would break, fix, and put us inside the padlock, whereby the teachers cannot open the school door.
Have you provided security for the schools?
Some time ago, the community organized watchdog. But
the Directorate has not provided security for the school.
Directorate providing security for the schools.
Yes.
We don't provide security for the schools.
Have you initiated such anything of such so that the school?
It's the community which are supposed to do that.
I see. Well, now that the school has been closed down indefinitely, what's going to happen next? The student won't be learning, but they will obviously have an exam to write.
The DCE and the District Education Director and some opinion leaders will be having a meeting on Tuesday to decide on the final phase when to reopen the school.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. Sabia is a PRO for the District Directorate, bringing us up to speed on that story as well. Well, many are eager to know how the National Media Commission intends to ensure adherence to its directive for some 3 TV stations to stop airing pornographic material. The directive follows a complaint filed by Mr. James Obeko and Mr. Tommy Annan Forsen against XYZ TV, Thunder TV and Ice TV. There's also been a raging conversation about the matter on social media, especially on Facebook. Now, the Commission examined the broadcast of the 3 stations and concluded that the content complained about did not meet the standards of decency required by the Broadcasting Standards of the Commission. Section 7E of the NMC Broadcasting Guidelines provides that the Commission, the Commission says that this provision does not admit of any exceptions. So the question remains as to how they will ensure adherence. Nana Jana Penting is chairman of the National Media Commission. He joins me on the line. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on the Pulse. How will you do this?
I'm fine. And how are you?
I'm very well. I'm asking how you're going to do this.
Which one? I didn't hear all of it.
How are you going to ensure adherence to your directives?
Oh, well, in the first place, you know that our procedure is called a settlement for a reason. When a complaint comes, we bring the two of all sides together, as we did yesterday. And then we work through the complaint, and luckily yesterday there wasn't much in contention. The stations cited, admitted they had shown the offensive material, and they agreed to withdraw it, and so our order reinforces that. We believe that once people are conversant with the guidelines that we offer, they will understand the force of the guidelines, and therefore we hope that in itself will become a deterrent to either reoffending or other people also offending. Let me explain it this way. We have built this question all day. What law is backing it? The law backing the NMC is a creation of the Constitution, and the Constitution has given us a clear mandate to ensure the highest journalistic standard and to maintain a quality journalism, including broadcasting in this country. And so, after consulting broadly with stakeholders, these guidelines were then put in place, and it guides all broadcasting in the country. And we're happy to note that yesterday the process went so smoothly because people recognized the worth of the guidelines and the fact that if they want to continue in good business, then it's good to maintain the highest standard. So that is what is backing our belief that the approach we have adopted is going to work.
Let me just find out from you something, a part of your guidelines. There's a part that reads, actual sexual intercourse between humans should at no time be transmitted. I'm not sure exactly what it means.
It means exactly what it says.
So how do you determine that whatever people, because in acting, people act, and in acting they'll tell you, even though it looks like it's an actual sexual intercourse, they'll tell you it's acting, and so it is not actual sexual intercourse. So how does the NMC determine?
Well, you have said this brilliantly. When the context of, say, a drama, theater, or film, I believe that the producers of material in this genre normally know how to handle it so that it conforms to the society's culture. Otherwise, what happens is that it is going to be repudiated. If you make a film and there is actual sex in it, and it has happened before, normally you get such a classification that only a small band of audience may be able to see it in any case. And if it is pornographic, as in this case, then it will have to be dealt with in a different way. It won't be on free to air, for example, and you would have to deploy a different means of reaching your audience.
Apart from warning, taking an apology from these media houses, what else did you ask them to do? Do you think what you asked them to do, or what they have done to, so to speak, get away, for lack of a better word, is deterrent enough?
Yes, the good thing is that even before they came, some of them, and I'm using that vague, had already taken off the programs, off their schedule. They had already decided, and I think one of them had even already sent an apology. What happens in our procedure is that when there's a complaint, we write to those being complained against whom the complaint has been lodged to respond. And so they all responded. And in their responses, they already apologized. And so it is a matter of what we've asked them to do is not to show that again. But more importantly, we are using this also to warn all broadcasters to conform to the standards that we have set up in our guidelines. Some have been cited. Even during yesterday's hearing, it came to light that some have been cited. Some are quite prominent, and we hope that...
who are prominent? The owners?
No, the stations. Some stations are better known than others.
Prominent as in a lot of people watch the materials that you're asking them to cut out?
Yes, in terms of audience there. But I don't want to go beyond that.
Okay.
You wouldn't even want to push me, I tell you.
Well, if I should dare you, what would you say?
Please don't.
Interesting. So what if they go back on their word? How will the NMC know? Because obviously this had to be brought to the attention of the NMC by individuals. So one could argue that the NMC's monitoring operation has not been that effective.
Well, it is effective, but you know that I can tell you that we have the capacity to monitor 48 stations at any given moment.
So how did they have to take individuals to report to you?
You listen.
I'm listening.
It takes 48 at a time, and for radio alone, that is about 1/10 of the number of radio stations in the country. And that 48 includes both TV and radio.
Okay.
And so you have to do some analysis and use the scarce resource in a certain way. So, for example, in the election period, you select the stations that are so obviously political, so you know what is going on there, and then you take measures, to ensure that there's compliance with the standards, etc.
Okay.
In these times too, there are other things you are monitoring, and so I must say that nighttime monitoring, especially, is not something that we had been doing. But now that this has happened and our attention has been drawn to that, when you have scarce resources, when something happens, then you shift some of the resources to meet the new exigencies. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing. But having said that, what we suspect has happened is that some people have not taken our guidelines seriously.
Yeah.
Some may not even know the guidelines at all. And so in the coming days and weeks, you will see that we are stepping up the public education. We're going to make them available online and make them available even in print to all broadcast stations across the country.
Okay.
We believe that once that is done, we will find better compliance.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Nana Pensing there is chair of the NMC, bringing us up to speed on that directive for some TV stations to cut out pornography. Well, in the meantime, directors of the Marina Shopping Mall, Koala Shopping Mall, and the Best Western Premier Hotel have been ordered to report at the offices of the police CID for failure to register with the Data Commission. The Commission today embarked on an exercise with officers of the Ghana Police Service to arrest directors of companies who have failed to register in accordance with the Data Protection Act. Head of Cyber Unit at the Police CID, Dr. Gustav Janssen, told the media that arrangements with data controllers have not yielded much result, hence the need for these arrests.
We've been doing a lot of sensitization and educating personalities or companies or institutions who collect data from the general public to register. But unfortunately, we've observed that most of them have refused to register with the Commission as required by the Section 27 of the law. So now the Section 56 also requires that anyone who fails to register it's an offense and should be put before court. So currently, today, in collaboration with the Data Protection Commission, we have decided to embark on an exercise to arrest and prosecute all who have failed to register.